'cause we're differently abled, differently.
Welcome back. Persons with disabilities shy away from registration processes due to the logistics involved. Mali Therapy Center had various institutions come together to easen these processes. Take a look.
Persons with autism have unique abilities and are skilled in various fields.
We talk about people who have disability, they're able to still achieve and live a life to the full. And basically it's something which should not hold anybody back. It's something whereby you learn to live with the disability you have.
Autism is not a disease, it is a neurological disorder, meaning that the brain is just operating at a slower pace than a neurotypical individual.
Every year in April, we get to celebrate the milestones in inclusion and their contribution to national development.
We are here to celebrate Autism Awareness Day and to create awareness of what is out there for those who have, maybe they don't live in Nairobi, they live in communities where there's no access to information. We also want to tell them that there is hope and autism is not a disease. It is a neurological disorder. That means that your brain, the brain of the individual we're talking about, is working at a slower pace, and with intervention and support, they're able to live a near normal life. So don't lose hope. Seek therapy, seek intervention, and there's a chance for your child to live a good life. Thank you.
Persons with autism, a good number of them, they also have delayed milestones in terms of IQ. So that's why we are here. And one of the things we are having is to come and sensitize the parents that as Special Olympics, we also offer a different pathway, which is sports. We know people with disabilities, they are limited in terms of pathways. Since the Kenya we are in and the world we are in, if you have no education, people feel, or the community feels that you have no space, you cannot be able to progress. But me and you, we know that people are blessed differently. We have people who have succeeded in life, minus education. But what has taken them through is the specific skills that they have.
However, these dreams can only be achieved and celebrated when the necessary support is given to them.
We have a partnership or an agreement with the International Olympics Committee, which goes back to 1988. And they allowed us to use the word Olympics so long as it is preceded by the word special. Meaning, all the sports that we offer are Olympic-type sports. All the rules that we follow are rules that are found within the Olympic rules. The only thing that as Special Olympics we do, we modify the rules to allow our athletes engage and interact with the sport.
I'd like to just tell every parent out there who has a child living with autism or any form of disability that there is hope, and with early intervention, there's always hope for your child living a near normal life.
Mali Therapy Center organized a registration drive as the first step in ensuring they don't lose opportunities.
There are usually many approaches. One approach is you can visit one of your near county hospital facilities, and usually many of them have a disability assessment team that are able to do these disability assessments. Sometimes you have organizations or institutions which come into play, and certain sponsors who come into play, so that you're able to have these outreach, disability outreach clinics in different facilities, that you can reach more people who are living with disability and more children living with disability.
During the mashinani is where now we sensitize wananchi about our services at Huduma Center. And those services, when we bring them closer to them, they are able to access them where they are.
We decided to do an expo type of open day just to encourage and show parents that in the world of disability, there is hope. We have different organizations that have come to show how they support persons with disability. We are also here to register persons with disability so that they can take advantage of what the government has in store for them.
We offer sports. That's why we are a sport organization. But we have a specific niche. We work with persons with intellectual disabilities. So this means there are people who have delayed milestones in terms of intellectual limitations in their intellectual functioning. but doesn't mean that they lack. It's only that they have something delayed. So as we bring inclusion through sports, because we realize that sports is one of the most basic ways where no IQ is tested. It just happens with your skill, bring your skill to the field.
We have realized that several people don't have birth certificates. So today we have brought birth certificates where you just come, apply, and then you are printed the birth certificate. Number two, we also have Social Health Authority, the SHA, where you come for registration, and registration is free. You just come with your ID and then you are registered. Number three is about a certificate of good conduct or the police clearance certificate done by the DCI service desk. We have brought it here so that at least people can apply and then get that certificate of good conduct.
Is that we have a lot of people living with disability, and specifically a lot of children who are living with disability. And the most important thing to remember is that in life it's all about being positive. We talk about people who have disability, they're able to still achieve and live a life to the full. And basically it's something which should not hold anybody back. It's something whereby you learn to live with the disability you have.
This day-long activity presented its own challenges.
Migration from the old disability card now to registering through our eCitizen platform to get the certificates. I did not see the need for a repeat of assessment, yet the first one was still viable. So I would request the government to find a way of making it easier to migrate from the old system to the new system without having to go through that whole process. Because already having a child with disability is stigma enough. So going through that process and being reminded of what you have gone through every other time there's a bit of change is quite difficult for the parents, and you find that they're not really keen on going through that process. So just waking up and registering your child with a disability card is one step, but going back to it is always a challenge, and that is the challenge we're facing today, but we are working towards it.
So usually the process basically entails, assuming you're going to a facility and you want to register, you go to the facility, and in the case of Mbagathi Hospital, that's an example I can give because that's where I'm based. You come to Mbagathi Hospital, you can either come to the administration block of Mbagathi Hospital or the customer service desk. We have at least 2 personnel who man those desks and do coordinate the disability assessments. In Mbagathi Hospital, actually, we do disability assessments almost every day. And the disability assessments which you do basically, they're the minor disability assessments which can be done from Monday to Friday. Then there are the major ones which you do like twice in a month. The major one is when now we come together and we sit as a panel and we do the disability assessment. But there are these other disability assessments which go on, because what usually happens, for instance, when you have a child who has autism or you have somebody who has a physical disability, they would usually visit the specialist who would assess them and do a report. Then the disability team would sit and do the assessment. And this is something which can be done actually almost every day.
It is always one step at a time, and the much needed support that will ensure that we celebrate the Autism Awareness Month with positive impact.
I appreciate everyone who is raising a child or an adult who has autism, and go ahead to inspire them to continue the same, recognizing these people in the community and supporting them where we can support.
Conditions like autism and autism spectrum disorder conditions which can be managed usually by a team of doctors and different medical therapists, including physiotherapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists, which we have in many different counties, and with that actually many children are able to improve and achieve their potential.
We come and train the coaches. Once the coaches get the specific skills, then they are able to go back to their neighborhood or to their schools or to their community clubs, and they can go ahead and train them meaning from the basic, get the skills, bring them to the point where they can be able to have competitions.
We have sign language interpreter who always guide those customers with special needs, especially the deaf. So when they come, they can be interpreted for, and they can be guided accordingly.
I would like to encourage any parent with a child living with disability or any individual living with disability that there is hope out here. With early intervention, you are able to live a near normal life. And I always say if you are able to separate yourself from that disability, you'll be able to support that person who needs that help.